Which structure is present only in plant cells and not in animal cells? Cell wall. Through what structure is the oxygen produced by photosynthesis released? Through stomata. What type of rock is formed when pre-existing rocks are recrystallized under high temperature and pressure? Metamorphic rock. What is the type of cell division that produces gametes in vertebrates? Meiosis. Why do two facing mirrors produce an apparently infinite series of images? Because reflections repeat back and forth. According to Arrhenius, an acid is a substance that releases which ion when dissolved in water? Hydrogen ion, H. What is required to make the same object move faster? A greater force. Which is the largest galaxy in the local group? Andromeda Galaxy. What three factors affect the rate of a chemical reaction? Concentration, temperature, and catalysts. What is the biggest difference between a liquid and a solid? Their shapes are different. Which sensory organ contains the cochlea? Ear. What particles carry electric current in an aqueous solution? Ions. Why is the angle of refraction larger than the angle of incidence when light passes from water to air? Difference in speed. Why are there many starbirths in galaxies with many stars? Because nebulae are abundant. How is aerobic exercise related to breathing? Requires continuous oxygen supply. What substance in the brain may be deficient when someone is depressed? Serotonin. What functions does the cerebrum mainly perform? Higher cognitive functions such as thinking and memory. Why does a train sound higher in pitch as it approaches? The Doppler effect. Where are stimuli received by sensory organs transmitted? To the central nervous system. What causes Earth's magnetic field to form? The molten iron core inside Earth. Why does your voice sound different when you plug your ears? Bone conduction. Which precious metal has high electrical conductivity? Silver. What is the process of breaking down organic matter to obtain energy needed for growth and reproduction? Cellular respiration. What type of wave is a sound wave? Longitudinal wave. What is the core idea of the first law of thermodynamics? The law of conservation of energy. Which scientist first proposed an atomic model of atomic structure? Rutherford. Which seismic wave arrives first from an earthquake? The P wave, primary wave. What is the name for a deep coastal valley formed by melting glaciers? Fjord. If a waveform is regular, what kind of sound does it produce? A pure tone. What is the solid formed when cations and anions in an aqueous solution electrostatically combine and precipitate? Precipitate. What state change is fogging breath an example of? Condensation. Who was the German scientist who first proposed the theory of continental drift? Alfred Wegener. What does a wearable device mean? A device worn on the body. What causes the formation of fog? Condensation of water vapor. Where are globular clusters mainly found? In the halo surrounding a galaxy. Which greenhouse gas is most abundant in the atmosphere? Water vapor. What property does a solution have if it turns blue litmus paper red? Acidic. What was the name of the first U.S. probe that landed on Mars for rover investigations? Pathfinder. Which gas is the primary cause of global warming? Carbon dioxide. What is one way to make an electromagnet stronger? Increase the number of coil turns. Thanks for watching all the way through. Share your science knowledge in the comments. Your support helps us create even more science quizzes. See you in the next one.